how do you balance what must be a very, I'm assuming, pretty intense career with just your life outside of work? Because, like we mentioned earlier, you're also a dad now, right? You have a kid, you have a wife. I'm sure it's a lot harder now than it was before because there's a lot more demands on your time. Um, and then, like this topic of like work-life balance, it's a very popular one, and with the investment banking crowd, obviously for obvious reasons. But like, how do you kind of, what's your view on that, I guess, and also like how do you manage that?
Yeah. I mean, you know, for one, if you ask me how Elon Musk manages time, I have no idea. I mean, that guy is a cyborg. So I'm not near his level. For me, my life is quite simple. You know, I give kind of full dedication. I full focus on my day-to-day job on Icon for the most part. I do also do kind of side stuff too. So I do run, I do investment fund as well. So I try to have a little bit of, how like a lot of companies give 20% of their time to do other kind of new things. Yeah, I mean, I try to spend a small portion of my time, exploring something new. And that's what I've been doing. But I would say 80% of my time I've been just fully focused
Yeah.
on this project. I think you're right. I think family is, obviously very important. So I try to fit in as much family time as possible. Like the weekends, it's pretty much full family time. And then, even on the weekdays when I need to be, you know, there for my family, then as long as I have a few, uh, you know, if I know the schedule ahead of time, then I'm able to manage, right? I think the beauty about sort of my job and my role today is that, and it's not just me, it's just my entire team, which is very global. We're remote first. So everyone is work from home. We meet, we do a get together. We do a workshop twice a year. So this year we're doing it in Lisbon, Portugal. So all our team members are flying in, and we're doing like a 1 week workshop. We have another one in fall, which will be in South Korea. So yeah, um, you know, so I set out these like schedules to make sure that I have enough time for work, but any other time, like, it's quite flexible where, I think, um, it's at the end of the day, it's not about the hours, right? Hours
Yeah.
are important, right? I think expectation is that we get things done. So when we need to, when there's a fire drill, right? When there's a fire drill in banking, it doesn't matter. Like you just don't go home
Yeah.
until things get done, right? That's just the expectation, and that expectation is the same,
Yeah.
even today, right? When we have a launch date in 2 weeks, and we feel that we're behind, nobody goes home until, or everyone's working from home, but nobody sleeps until like we push that out, right? So everyone, that's sort of the team culture, team expectations that we have. Working on weekends too. If you have something that needs to get, that you couldn't finish during the week, you spend
Yeah.
weekends to get it done, right? So I think it's kind of setting the expectations amongst, your colleagues is important. But for the most part, I mean, we're reasonable. We all have life outside of work. We try to be as flexible
Yeah.
for everyone. Everyone sort of has their routine, right? Like some people are night people, so
Yeah.
they work at night. Like if you're a morning person, you work in the morning. So we give that level of flexibility. So like for me, I mean, I have a very kind of a tight schedule, but I think, I'm able to manage that quite easily, I would say, because I'm very, I have like kind of dedicated slots for my family and dedicated
Yeah.
slots for
That's
work.
awesome. My last question for you. This is I could keep going for a very long time on this, but I do have to go pick up my
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
after this. Is the only reason why. So it's so fascinating. But looking back on your career path, which isn't, I wouldn't say it's been like your like very linear or traditional career path, right? Like you've done a bunch of different things and probably
Hmm.
things you didn't expect that you would have done. So if you were to go back and talk to like the 18 or 20-year-old version of Min, when you were still in college at Berkeley, let's say, like what advice would you give yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say like don't worry too much. Um, I definitely feel I was too
Mm,
hard on myself for the most part. I mean, for the most part, until getting into the college where I wanted, getting into the major I wanted, getting into banking job, all that sort of worked out for me. So I was sort of fortunate from the very beginning. Of course, I had to work my ass off to get there, but
yeah.
it worked out, right? But after banking, I think it was a learning process, right? Like I said, I had a high, a big ego. Um, I was like, I thought I could accomplish anything. I go out, I do a bunch of startup. I had to experience and taste
Mm,
failure a few times, right? And I was very hard on myself. You fall into depression. Um, you find new things to do, and if I look back, it's just like I think I was very anxious. I was always sort of in a hurry to make money. I always felt like I was disappointing myself, and I was very
mm,
hard on myself. So I think some of that is good because it kind of gets you going. But um, I think life's obviously a journey, and it's easier to say this today because maybe I'm in a
yeah.
better place. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, I wish I could have enjoyed a lot, that journey a bit more. Where, like in banking, where if you look back today, you remember mostly the good things, right? Like it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. Of course, like I remember all the tough, tough, like
Yeah.
tough nights. But if I could tell myself, I mean, today to my younger self, I mean, those were those nights. You're not gonna be doing that for the
Yeah.
rest of your life, right? You're not gonna be stuck in 2 a.m. with Sam. No? You're not gonna. Yeah, you're right. You're not gonna be. You know, you're not gonna be. Tired all the time. So there's like so many things I think during my banking days that I wish I would have enjoyed those 4 years
Mm,
a bit more. And I did enjoy it, but I think thinking back, I could have done a bit more just to kind of,
yeah.
you know, I think, just a few things. I do have a lot of regrets here and there. Like, I think I could have had the opportunity to build better relationships with like you and
Mm.
other people. I was just like focused on, getting things done, getting out. I hated staying in the office. Um, there's so many things like that I remember that I wish, hey, just enjoy those those
Yeah.
few years, right? You're not
Yeah.
going to have this back. You know some of the if you think back, like working on Excel sheets in the middle of the night is some of the easiest things that I've ever done because like some of the challenges that you'll face, like from then on, that I faced then on, like life challenges, like business challenges, like you know there's just like so many problems and things that you'll face that like I wish I'd rather be staying up like
Yeah.
pulling 90 hours, because that's just like I think those were like some of the, if I think back, it may have been some of the happiest moments of my life, just like not worrying about anything and just working for 80 hours, like not worrying about paycheck. That's like if you think back, it's a pretty good feeling, right?
Oh man.
No kids, no family. You're just by yourself. You're getting a good paycheck. Yeah, I mean, life's great. I don't know why I was complaining so much back in the days.